Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We Are All Psychic. And Misty's not here today, but guess what? It is time for Jennifer Love's Love series. And Jennifer is here with us. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Lisa.
And Jennifer, do you still think we're all psychic?
Yep, all the time.
All the time. So, listeners, and this is an audio podcast, and this is going to be possibly a very explicit podcast. So, if you're sensitive to topics of sexuality and intimacy that may be very detailed, you might not want to listen to this one. This is about sex magic, right, Jennifer?
Yeah,
and we're doing it for
Halloween.
It
today.
Get into it today. So, Jennifer, how would you like to introduce this topic to the listeners?
So, sex magic can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but kind of my definition is using orgasmic energy to manifest in the material world what you desire.
Okay.
So it's something that you can create or manifest just like any other kind of spell that you want to do. There's all sorts of magical spells that people like to do, in witchcraft or Wicca. People do love spells, people do money spells, people do manifestation spells. But when you're using, sex magic, it's kind of that little extra oomph, a little extra energy. And it actually has a lot of basis in Tantra. There's a lot of ancient texts that actually instruct people to use sex as a way to manifest or harness their energy towards their desires.
I think Aleister Crowley was one of the big proponents of that in the late 1800s, and we had a podcast, we talked about him in a couple of tarot podcasts. So
and it's actually pretty mainstream. There's a lot of articles and like pop culture, things in Cosmopolitan. And I even saw something in like Teen Vogue about how to use sex magic.
Teen Vogue.
I was kind of just like Googling things for this podcast. Like, what do people think about sex magic? I was just trying to like look at like, what do people think about it? What do people think it means?
What's the general consensus?
Yeah. What's the general consensus? Right. And I was thinking about, wow, like teenagers do this.
Yeah.
That didn't occur to me, but I was like, okay, cool. It's very mainstream. It's very mainstream if like the Teen Vogue is like writing articles about it, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I was like, that kind of surprised me, but yeah.
That surprises me a lot.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that's pretty like in the common thought.
Yeah, it's out there. It's out
there. Yeah. I thought it was a little bit more underground than that, or a little bit more taboo.
Yes, exactly. Especially the taboo.
Yeah. Because a lot of the women that I teach embodiment to have a hard time sometimes getting in touch with their bodies or touching their bodies. So I thought perhaps a lot of people might have an issue with sex magic.
Right.
Because, it usually does involve being in touch with your body and, really feeling your own energy. So, yeah, that's, kind of the first step would be, really releasing yourself from that shame or associating sex with shame.
Right.
Because you're not going to be able to manifest your desires if you're constantly associating sex or sex acts with shame or guilt, because you can't get to a high vibe state and manifest what you want when you're in a low vibe state of shame and guilt. So like one does not go with the other. So if you are, someone who, like me, was raised Catholic or like religious or, just raised in a religion or a constricted type of background that sex was taught to be dirty or shameful. You have to do some healing first to kind of get over those thoughts that your body is somehow bad or your body is somehow wrong or sex is wrong or sex is naturally healthy and wonderful and beautiful. So
Without it, none of us would be here.
right. So there's a lot of psychology to use as a way of healing. So that's kind
Yeah.
of like the first thing you want to do
Right.
if you want to go down this path of sex magic. So
Yeah. So for me, like you, I was raised Catholic. I don't remember ever being taught the guilt and shame, but I definitely had it a long time.
right,
I
it's
didn't
not like
even touch
you're
myself until I was like 21,
same. I don't think I
you know?
touched myself until I was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
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 It's just I don't think it's like explicitly taught, but it's just kind of inherent to the
Yeah.
teachings of the religion that masturbation is wrong.
Yeah. It's like, I don't remember ever being told that, but it's just
Right.
like, don't do that. Don't,
Yes.
and I didn't have much of a sex drive. I never really have until I hit my 30s, when I
Hmm.
hit that, I need a baby. I didn't have a
Yeah,
baby,
yeah.
but I knew that's what it was, my clock ticking.
Yeah,
And
yeah. There's all
I
sorts
definitely
of
explored my body, and that's probably when I got really comfortable, actually, when I got by
yeah,
myself. With someone else, I'm
yeah.
still somewhat inhibited, but with myself, that during that period, because it was such a drive, I had a drive to be, be doing that, have
Yeah.
a baby, and then to have a baby, your body's like, hey, let's do this, and
Mhm,
so I didn't
mhm.
want to have a baby, and I was married, so I did it that way.
Yeah, yeah, and
you know
that's totally healthy, right?
it really helped me understand my body better, and it took away a lot of ideas I had that were subconscious that told me things like, letting go during sex, letting go of control is not going to please him, or it's
Mhm.
about pleasing them, or anything
Right.
like that. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it can be a sharing thing. It can be a just me thing, sharing with me, or me with someone else, or me with 5 people. Although I've never done that, but some people do.
Yeah.
It's just getting more comfortable with my body really changed a lot of things for me. And it's still, I'm still getting comfortable with it. And I'm 47.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have issues with control. I know I did,
Yeah,
and
I definitely did.
that's it's hard to surrender.
Yes.
And
So
I
do you have
think
any advice for that? Surrendering? Because I think that's the first thing for me anyway, to really like get, if I were to, and I probably would like to learn from you during this podcast,
mhm,
I would like to take steps to learn some of these techniques, to not necessarily to, I don't know, I've never heard of it described as manifesting your own desires, except by Maylee Crowley and some of
mhm.
his writings and stuff. But he still talked about it crazy. Not crazy, but just differently than I think of it. But maybe it's the times and the words.
Yeah.
But like I want to know how to let go, because I think that would be the first step to like really know
Yeah.
how to release your worries and anxieties and just let the energy flow.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have um, a hard time in our society in this day and age um, of being in your body at
Well, we
all.
compare ourselves to the
Not,
ex
yeah,
lover or the gorgeous supermodel, or
sure.
a lot of so the ex lover, really a lot of people focus
Hmm.
on the exes, especially as a reader. I hear that a lot.
Hmm.
Am I better? Stuff like
We
that.
have a lot of comparison, right?
Yeah.
As you see people on social media, you see people on Instagram and Facebook, and you're like, why don't I look like that? Why don't, people on in TV and movies, they look so picture perfect, and you're like, why don't I look
Yeah.
like that? And
And
one of
how
the
can anyone want to have good sex with me if I look,
right, right.
and that's not true.
Yeah.
It's
And
about love.
one of the wonderful things that in the dance classes that I teach, our old studio, we had really low lighting. We used to turn the lights off and we would have red lamps.
Oh,
So it was like really soft lighting, kind of like you have in your room
a
there.
pink one,
But
yeah.
your pink lamp, but it was like red. So it was really like womb like. It was just this really soft lighting, which is really flattering on your
That
skin,
is,
by the way. And there
yeah,
were no mirrors at all.
nice, very cool.
So if you can imagine a dance class with no mirrors,
Yeah, and poles.
because the point was not to like look at yourself and say, am I doing this right? The
Yeah.
point was to find pleasure in your own body, which
Yes.
is like a totally different goal of a dance class than like, am I doing this movement correctly, rather than am I finding pleasure in my body. So what I would want you to do to start to try to surrender or find, um, pleasure or bliss, it's kind of, also using tantra as a path to sex magic, using your breath. So you want to try to kind of get into your body or enter your body by using your breath.
Okay.
So taking deep breaths, letting it go, I also have people like touch the envelope of their skin, and not, you don't even have to be naked or anything. You could do it with your clothes on, just like giving yourself a hug and touching kind of the envelope of your skin, running your hands along your arms, feeling the softness of your skin. So anything using your five senses helps you get into your body and become aware of the things that your body feels and your body sensations. You're not even worrying about sex yet, right? You're just
Right.
worrying about how it feels to live in your body and experience your body. You can think about, well, do my shoes feel tight in my feet right now? Am I feeling cold right now? How does it feel? Am I hungry right now? Do I have to pee right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I tired right now?
Communicate
Do I
really
need to
quickly with your
rest?
body. Yeah.
Yeah, really listening to your body and responding. It's so often, I think we've talked about this before, that we ignore our body's cues all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, how many times have you been tired and instead of resting, you
Drank the
drink a
coffee.
Coke, drink a
Yeah.
coffee,
Yeah.
have an energy drink, or I'm gonna, some people smoke cigarettes to pep up, or
Yeah.
have an energy drink or whatever. So we ignore our body's cues all the time. Some people work a lot or have very demanding jobs where they can't go to the bathroom all the time when they want to, so they have to hold
Yes.
their pee.
I know. And kids in school sometimes are forced to
Yes,
do that
that
too. So
infuriates me so much when they don't
yeah.
allow children to go to the bathroom when they want to.
Me too.
So, yeah, ignoring your body and training yourself to ignore your body is not the path to surrender, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Good point.
let's think about that. When you've like trained yourself to hold your pee all day, and then now you're going to be in bed with your partner and expect yourself to orgasm, like, silly.
Good
No,
point.
you've
Good
been
point.
ignoring your body for years and years, and now you're gonna expect your body to orgasm on a dime. No, no, you have to like listen to your body always, and then your body will know what to do when you want it to do what you want it to do. So yeah, I those are kind of like starter things to do. Breath, listen to your body, use your five senses. Even like taking time to enjoy your food,
Yeah.
turn off the TV, sit in silence, and just like chew every piece of food 20 times. Really like think about, how does this taste? How does the texture of the food feel in my mouth? Um, am I thirsty right now? I'm really thirsty right now.
You just made me thirsty too. Gosh, I need a drink of orange juice. Mm, drink time.
That was good. So yeah, so those are kind of things that you can do to kind of start getting on this path to bliss, um, which will really help you with surrender.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can start using what we call, once you kind of started yourself on this like tantric path to bliss, you could start using sex magic to kind of transform your life and manifest what you want. So like, what is sex magic, right? Like, what are we calling it?
What is the
It
sexual magic? What is
mean?
that
Right,
energy? What
right.
is
What
it?
does it
Yeah.
mean? So sometimes it involves like a ritual or a spell, right? There's like a very prescribed like series of things that you do. Some people use candles, some people use sigils, like their sigils are like different symbols or writing in a complicated pattern. Some people use crystals to amplify the energy. Some people use words spoken or in writing to, amplify their intentions. Some people build altars of tribute, or they put items or totems to activate on their altars. Um, you can call upon your angels or your ancestors during this ritual or spell. And some people even call upon demons or dark forces that could be part of it. It doesn't have to be, so you don't have to get scared that you have to call on demons during your sex magic ritual. You can, but you don't have to.
It's an option, but
It's
probably
an
not one I
option.
would choose.
Right, right. I don't do that. And then, masturbation is usually a part of sex magic, or you could be with a partner, but most people do it alone, which is surprising. Some people are very shocked by the fact that you don't have to do sex magic with somebody else. You can just be by yourself.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah. And then some sex magic, you don't even have to have sex. You could be doing Kundalini yoga.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there's even sex magic that you could do in a group. So
Five people.
people go in a group and do a ritual where they all masturbate in a group together.
And they're trying to make
They're not
something
touching
happen.
each other. They're not touching each other, but they're just, trying to amplify the energy of the sex magic by being together in a group.
Okay. What is the
So,
sex magic though? I mean, what is that energy? Is it Kundalini energy or what would you call it?
yeah, so yeah, that's what I would call it. You're using the you're activating the Kundalini energy in yourself to kind of amplify the intention. So
Okay.
it's really more of like an activation to magnify your intention to the universe.
Okay. Now, what
Yeah.
kind of intentions? Anything, or are they usually
Anything,
really?
absolutely anything. You can be like, I want a really awesome parking space tomorrow. Or it could be something
That's
as
awesome.
yeah, or it could be something as big as like really want to win the super lotto jackpot on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or it could be like I really need a promotion at work, or it could be like I really want to meet my soulmate. It's actually anything that you desire to
Yeah.
manifest in your life. um I really want to find a cute dress. I don't know, like whatever you
Yeah.
can think of,
That's
that
really
is what
crazy.
you
Yeah.
can create. So any
Can
like
you
on
can you do something like with a partner, make them feel more excited or more into it, more make them have them feel the Kundalini and them channel it too? Can you teach
um
that to your partner?
yeah, so usually, Kundalini, like tantric sex is, combining the Kundalini energy between the two partners. So
Okay.
whatever you're feeling, they're feeling the same. So I don't want to say it's like a mind meld, because it's not like they're thinking the same thoughts, but you're mostly feeling the same kind of energy. So it's like
Right.
more of like an energetic amplification between the two partners.
That makes sense.
And they're definitely like, there's um chakra alignment. So, like, your root chakra is aligned with their root chakra, and then the second, the third, all the way up to the crown, your
Yeah.
chakras are aligned. So, it's kind of like amplifying all of that energy all the way up through the crown. It kind of shoots out through the crown into like a lotus, and then creates this big spray of like, you can imagine it like, sparks of energy that create like a bubble around the couple,
Oh,
and it just creates like kind of like a beautiful bubble of energy around the two. That is kind of like the visual of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like that. And when you said lining up the chakras,
yeah,
maybe I've been doing sex magic because,
probably.
with the intimate partner now, I first started when we'd fall asleep at night, I would connect to his heart. And then
Yep.
I'd feel from my point of view, when I tap into his energy, if I
Hmm.
connect to his heart, I feel my lower chakras are usually blocked. I'm usually way up here. And
Yeah.
when I connect to his heart, these will start opening up and I can feel my root chakra just and it's because his are really balanced. And
Yes.
then I can feel, and then I'll start to feel him attached through these chakras. Or we'll meet through the third eye and crown. Mainly the third eye, I mean, not the third. The crown doesn't really seem to meet, but everything else does. Right? It feels like it's connecting, but it's going up, but not to each other. You know?
Right, because the crown is already open. So
Yeah,
you don't feel as much of a connection as it's already opened up.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what it
That
is.
makes a lot of sense because a lot of the, intuitive or psychic people I know spend a lot of time in the upper chakras.
Well, the
So I'm
main
not
reason I
surprised that
do,
you're
yeah,
up
I
here
do.
all the time,
Well, the
you
main
know?
reason I have been there is because of all the physical pain I've been in. And I'm getting
Yeah.
that a little bit under control. So I'm slowly trying to bring myself down. That's one reason I'll connect to him to ground, and
Yeah.
it seems like these seem balanced in him too, but it seems like he gets benefit from these from me, and I get benefit from the lower chakras
That's
from him.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that.
Yeah.
And and one night I said to him that I told him about that. And I said, "Do you want to try it together?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he said he felt it when our hearts connected, and then he could feel, and he had been asleep and had woken up, and we started talking, just kind of mumbles
Yeah.
talk. And I was like, "Want to try it?" I'm tired. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then he was like, "Oh, it was really
Yeah.
cool. He felt it, and it was just beautiful. And I can connect to him. I don't know, maybe because I've been doing this kind of, just you know, energy work for so long, but I can,
Right.
wherever he
Right.
is, I can connect to him and feel his heart when it meets mine,
Wow.
like it when
Yeah.
they connect. And I feel like he feels it too.
Yeah. So that feels very much like tantra to me. Yeah.
It does. And
But
the
yeah.
intimacy does feel like that. But just to,
Mhm.
thinking of like manifesting something with it's really
Yeah.
interesting.
So taking it that step further from tantra would be like to set an intention. Once you feel that amplification, set an intention and send it out.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be like the magic part.
That's really cool. Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
get it.
You
Um,
could either write it down and then have that like preset, or you could just think it while that's happening and that's your intention and you send it out.
well, I had a very strange experience with sex magic.
Yeah.
I
Tell
didn't
me about
believe
that.
in it. I didn't believe in sex magic. I thought it was just, light a candle and get excited, something like that.
Yeah. It can be that. It can be very
I
as
never
simple
had
as
an
that.
experience
Sure.
with it, never seen anyone do it, never heard anyone talk about it except this one person. And but I didn't know about that until after it happened. So anyway, I met this person at work when I worked somewhere. And that night when I was in bed, uh I felt his energy around. And he was a psychic, he had told me that. I felt his energy around. I looked and I saw him in energy form. And behind him, like a little ways off through the wall, you know how you see like through walls and stuff, like just space, in the spirits and energy. And I saw his significant other behind him. And I just felt really compelled to touch myself. Like I got
Wow.
really turned on and I didn't understand it. And it wasn't that I was attracted to this man or the other person. It was just like, I need to do this right now. And so I did, and I didn't really know if that was something like a dream or if I didn't really know what it was. So I just put it, in the back of my mind. And then I spoke with someone who told me the same thing happened to her with the same person.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I realized it was real. So what would be the purpose of him doing that? He had told her when she's better at she can astral project, etc.
Mhm.
And she could communicate with his astral form better than I can, definitely, because I didn't know what I was looking. I know what was happening for sure, but she does know how to astral project. And she spoke with him, and he told her the reason they do this is to give other people pleasure. But what would be the real reason? Because I don't understand that. Them
I
to be excited together watching, or because
yeah,
they're a couple.
I would assume the reason was to make you attracted to them, like to
That's what
somehow,
I felt like.
bring you into their dynamic. They
That's what
wanted
it
a
felt like. Yeah.
threesome. Yeah. That I mean, that would be my
Oh, they're
assumption.
swingers. Yeah, they are swingers. So that
Oh
makes
yeah, so that would be my assumption to
yeah,
like somehow manipulate you into joining them in physically. Like it's
yeah.
not just an astral thing. There's no benefit to um like astrally having sex with someone. I
Actually,
mean,
there is. I've had
I
spirit
guess
sex
that's a
before.
fantasy type of
No,
thing.
no, it's
Like,
a real thing. I've had spirit sex before, and I won't say with who. It was an entity. Let's put it that way.
okay.
And it's like I didn't know this was a possibility. This is a spirit guide of mine who said you can do that.
But I guess you're
And we
right. I mean,
did.
if you got no, I take that back. I guess if you got physical pleasure from it,
I did.
that is a benefit. So
I
okay,
did. It was really strange. It was spiritual too. Like it's almost like I had
okay,
a spiritual orgasm, and then my
yeah,
body
yeah,
was like, oh, it was
yeah.
very strange. It wasn't like a physical orgasm.
But I kind of feel like in the example that you gave of the couple, like coming to you in the dreamlike state, that's more of like an invasion of your
It really
privacy.
was, and I was pissed when I found
So
out it was real.
yeah, so that to me feels very invasive and without your permission.
Exactly. No
So
permission.
yeah, so that I mean that is definitely sex magic. I agree. But that is not the type of sex magic I would
Me
condone.
neither. I don't understand that. Like, why
um
would you invade someone's sexuality like that? And how could
yeah,
he do
I
that? How
think
was he
it's
capable of that? You know?
there's definitely I've read about Enochian magic. Enochian magic is using sex magic rituals. You command angels and demons to kind of do your bidding. And it's more
That's
of
him.
like, yeah, so you kind of, so they're very like involved rituals. You use candles and crystals and sigils um and you do like a very specific order of things and it's very manipulative and it's designed to like either try to like quote unquote make people fall in love with you or make people want to have sex with you, things like that.
Okay.
So I've read about it just in like my, kind of capacity as like a love and relationship
Need to know it
expert.
all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't recommend like doing love spells and those kind of like manipulative type of
Me
things
neither.
to
I never,
to
it
my
was
clients or anything like
not
that just
nice.
because yeah, it's not nice and it really doesn't last.
It's
So
not real love.
even if you've like manipulated someone to fall in love with you or have sex with you or whatever, it's not real. So why would you want that?
Right.
Even if you've like manipulated someone to fall in love with you temporarily, all magic wears off like
Yeah.
that. So you have to keep doing it over and over. You're basically like making someone like a love slave in that
Yeah.
instance. They're not really in love with you.
No.
So who really wants someone as their
Once, yeah.
partner who's not really in love with? I
I
don't know.
guess
It
it's
just
for
like
somebody who just wants to possess
doesn't feel
something,
good.
someone as a
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
not they don't love that person either, is what it sounds like to me. They just want
So,
to own
and then
them.
like in my very like extensive angel studies,
Mhm.
most of my teachers have said that, Enochian magic is very wrong and,
Yeah.
commanding angels is just not a good
Yeah.
idea because, angels just come when you call them. So there's no really
Hmm.
reason to like start to try to harness or command them because if you just ask them to
Ask.
come, they come.
Yeah.
So there's no real reason to like command Archangel Jophiel to do anything
Right.
because if I just ask Archangel Jophiel to do anything for me, she will.
Right.
So I
Right.
don't really see the reason to like have a special sigil where I like capture her and command her to do anything
Yeah.
against her
That
will.
just sounds
It's odd. Yeah.
wrong. I mean,
It
because it
is
sounds
wrong. It is
like you
wrong.
do that
And
to
then
any
like
being or anybody,
right.
even if it's a
And
god, an
so
angel,
like
whatever. You don't
and
do
so
that.
like yeah, and I'm kind of getting chills just like like so
It is
thinking
making me
about
feel sick to my stomach.
yeah,
Yeah.
like kind of in the same, vein, like you're gonna coerce a demon to kind of do something for you. There's an exchange going on there. They're gonna want something back.
Yes.
An
They will.
angel probably won't, but a demon will definitely want something back from you.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to know what it is.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell you,
Right.
like this is what I'm going to get from you or this is what I'm going to take from you. But if you're going to like make someone have sex with you and you're going to make a demon do your bidding, you don't know what that demon's going to ask from you in return or just take from you in return. So it's a pretty dangerous game to be playing. I don't recommend it.
Don't recommend it.
Um, I don't think those people that were messing with you even knew what they were doing, probably. And they're probably not happy people to
They
say.
weren't happy people. They weren't.
Yeah. If they were like, trying to command demons to do things for them, they're probably very extracting a very high price in return.
I think so.
it's just kind of icky
It
magic.
really
Yeah.
is icky. I felt when I
Yeah.
found out that this was a real, it wasn't one of my,
Yeah.
fantasy, whatever,
Yeah.
just because a lot of times I have, maybe you do too, psychic experience, energy
Yeah.
experience, and
Yeah.
you're just like, was that really what happened? Did I really see that guy? Did that really, and, just kind of let it go because
And
you're
there's
not,
so many like fun things to do with the sexual partner that just seems like, why would I bother doing that?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, he had his,
So many other fun things to do.
thing. It was weird because his sexual partner, she was in the background, like watching the whole thing, like enjoying it. That's what I saw. It was like they did it together, like they
Well,
enjoyed
and then,
doing this.
I'm not
And
saying
it was
there's
Saturday
not
night or
fun
something.
things. Like you could
Yeah.
definitely have fun with the threesome. I'm not looking down on that, but just like
No,
make sure
but no,
that
I
third
said no.
partner is
I mean,
willing.
I did not be like, yes, come do that.
Yeah.
Didn't ask him.
Make sure your third partner is very willing to participate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just on that kind of note, if anything that we've kind of talked about like gives you a lot of doubt or fear, just remember that like doubt and fear are your teachers and friends. So you don't ever have to push beyond your boundaries.
I love you,
So
Jennifer, for
if
saying
like,
that.
yeah, if like anything in this like sex magic talk makes you feel like I don't want to do this, just kind of identify the source of discomfort within you. Like, what about that makes you feel like this is way too scary or like I don't want to do this? And just like try to discover what your fear is trying to tell you about yourself and just either like write about it or like move it through your body because you might really learn something valuable about yourself that you
Very
might
true.
need to like unearth or like
And then release me.
discover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, our fear is just a teacher. Um, and yeah, I just think that's a
That's
valuable.
a really great point. And like I said
Yeah.
before, I do love that you said that. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful point. They are teachers.
Yeah.
Um, I was one of those people when I was younger that just always thought it was for the dude. I'm heterosexual.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I know what I am, and I'm monogamous. So, but I've just never been very sexual unless I'm with someone I love. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't ever see someone and be like, I want to have sex with that person. I just don't. I've talked about that before, I think
Mhm.
on our podcast, but, I'm kind of curious. Oh, Gandalf's here, listeners. He's bonking the computer and getting it. You can hear
Really
him.
wants to be involved in our
He loves
conversation.
your podcast, yo, Sex Magic Kitty. He doesn't know. He's just like, I like this pink light. um, so let me think. Can you give an example of like some like a ritual where let's say I really, really want to manifest. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'll make it simple. Like maybe I want to manifest more money, more income.
Yeah.
Let's just say more income or my health. Can you use
Yeah.
I want to get my health better. Could you use sex magic to get yourself healthier?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so could you
Um,
give me an example of how to do that?
yeah, I have like a short meditation to kind of get you started on like your path to um starting to feel more uh powerful. I called it, kind of like calling back your power
Yeah.
to yeah, call back your power, basically.
This cat's driving me crazy. He just knocked my microphone out twice. So, no. He's coming back. I'll get my essential oils out. Like I have like essential oils that I just let him smell and he goes away. Because he just listeners, if don't do any bad essential oils, but if you have a cat that just won't go, put some peppermint essential oil in his nose, not in it, but let him smell it and he'll go away. This has bergamot in it, and he doesn't like bergamot. He doesn't like any of them. That's a little off topic, but he has to
That's a
have a
really good
say every
suggestion.
podcast.
I should do that. I should do that because sometimes
Yeah, they're a little aggressive.
Hanukkah likes climbing on my desk when I'm like having a meeting or something.
Yeah, and you're like, come on now, and they think that's like fun. They think it's playful. Oh, she wants to
Hmm.
let's get up and down and up and down and up and down. So yeah, I'd love to.
So yeah, so before that meditation, I just thought of something else. So a lot of the different chakras, are connected to different crystals, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I just happened to like glance over and I have this like carnelian crystal. And so when you're talking about money, it always makes me think of like my root chakra, and having carnelian really helps to ground, and it's really good for your root.
That's interesting.
So I
Yeah,
would use,
I've always used carnelian for my sacral, actually.
oh,
I'll try it with my root. I will now.
yeah, I always
Yeah.
use it for my root. Yeah, so but it is good for sacral too. Yeah. It's just it's orange, but it's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
red
Like
and
kind of
orange.
reddish orange.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You
I
can
mean,
do
I guess it
both.
just depends on the how you feel about it. But yeah, so yeah, anything that's really grounding. Um you can even use black crystals, right?
Okay.
Grounding.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, so whatever, makes you feel more connected to the earth, more connected to your root chakra. And then, kind of setting an intention that, whatever, if you want to save more money, if you want to build more money, if you want to feel wealthy, if you want to have wealth, if
Or
you want
health
to,
too. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say wealth or
I'd said
health?
I'd said wealth at
Oh,
first, then I was like, I'd
okay.
rather have better health than wealth because
That
that's where
makes
all the
more
money's
sense.
going.
Sorry. I don't know why I was like stuck
Well,
on wealth.
listeners are probably more interested in the wealth, so let's stick with
Yeah,
that.
no. No, health is good too. Yeah, no, but yeah, either or. Yeah, uh, health. That's more interesting. I don't know what crystal I would associate with
Because I'm thinking of the pain I'm
health.
in with the EDS.
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah.
pain a lot, so I mean, when I've used crystals to help with pain, rose quartz was the closest that came to when,
Hmm.
and clear quartz, mainly rose
I was
quartz
gonna
when I
say I was gonna
connect to
say
that.
clear quartz because it's so like clarifying.
Does everything, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of the first one that I thought of was clear quartz. But yeah, I think I would like set the intention that, I'm, always in a state of good health. Thank you for, returning me to my natural state of good health.
Okay.
I
Gratitude
always
was
I always have an unlimited amount of energy. Um, Thank you for, my body's free of pain. So and I think, I don't think I mentioned this, but all of your intentions need to be in the positive, right?
yes.
Any type of, affirmation or intention should be stated in the positive. You don't ever want to say, um, I don't want to feel pain.
Okay, you want to say I want to feel like
I
better
I
than don't
feel
want to.
I
Yeah.
feel I feel energetic.
Okay.
I feel
Oh, so it's
I
not
think
like I want to, it's like I am. It's like kind of putting that
right.
like I am healthy,
Right.
I am feeling good, I
Yeah.
am not
Yeah.
in pain. Yeah, I'm not
It's
feeling
more
yeah.
it's not like I don't have this illness anymore. Or like it like say you have a cold, you're not going to be like I don't have this cold anymore.
Okay.
It's more like I breathe easily. I
Treat the
am
symptoms.
yeah. You get what I'm saying. It's more
Yeah.
of like I'm in a constant state of good health. You don't want to focus on the problem, you're focusing on the health.
Getting to where
um
you want to be. Yeah. So you
right.
are there kind of is what you want to, where you're putting yourself in your meditation.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
it's kind of like when people are saying that they're fighting cancer. um some people don't even like that association,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they're fighting an illness. They just want
Yeah.
to be like, no, I'm just in a state of good health. I'm not
Get
fighting
that. Yeah.
anything. I don't even
Yeah.
associate with this illness. I'm just in a state of good
A lot
health.
of people do
Like I
associate
don't.
with their illnesses, or
Right, right.
they think
And
they
some
are.
people like that image of like I am like fighting this disease and I'm going to win. And some people just like, nope, I don't associate with a diagnosis or an illness at all, and I am
Right.
just in a constant state of good health. So it's kind of like one or the other, but I think when we're doing magic and focusing on that, you really want to focus on the positive aspect and not any type of illness or diagnosis. You don't want to say, I'm
Absolutely.
free
Yeah.
of depression. You don't want to like include the depression at all in your statement. You just want to
Okay.
say, I'm constantly in a state of feeling of joy.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
never address the problem in a negative or any way,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Always look at what you could have and you're there.
Right.
Yeah.
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 You're always in the future state
Okay.
of where you want to be.
Okay. That helps a
Right.
lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like just think of like the person that you want to be and you're there.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I've never thought of it that way before, and now I will. Always.
Yeah. Yeah.
So before you, do is a meditation or you
Yeah.
wanted to do, right? Well, before you do, I'd like to, because 'cause I'd like to end the podcast with it, and I
Okay.
wanted to thank you, and I'd like to thank the
Yeah.
listeners and watchers, and I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app where you can get advice from psychics and empaths, so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And, as like, yeah, listeners, I love you guys. All right, Jennifer, you wanna give us a treat?
Yeah.
All right.
So, this is a meditation to call back your power. So, sit up tall, roll your shoulders down and back and away from your ears, and just start to become aware of your breath. Let all your external distractions fade away. Take a deep breath and let it all go. Allow the floor, chair, or bed to fully support your weight. Let your whole body let go and just be held. Your eyes can close gently if you like. Take a few deeper breaths, really feeling the lifting and the lowering of your chest, the expansion and contraction as you breathe. Bringing your hands onto your body, one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. You now take back all the power you've given away out of a desire to conform, please others, or do the proper thing. You no longer delegate any power to parents, teachers, gurus, priests, politicians, or to the media. You now take back the power to determine your own future. You will now be responsible for your own love life. In this moment, you now reclaim the power to honor your sexuality as the deepest source of your creative energy, as a motor for your transformation. You take back the right to use this energy to become a fully orgasmic human being, knowing that this is your door to sexual magic and the key to transforming your entire life. You now call your power back to the cave of your heart. Wherever it is, wherever you may have left it, you now call it back. Even though you may have given it away or had it taken from you, you now allow it to return. Breathe all parts of yourself back in until you're overflowing with your own light. You're full of your own light, full of your own power. Today, you remember you have a choice and you choose to be happy in your own true light and power. Thank you, universe and angels, for bearing witness to this reclamation and for supporting this process as you step back into your highest, greatest self for good. And so it is. When you're ready, open your eyes and come back into the space.
That's amazing. I did it with listeners. I hope you did too. And thank you again, Jennifer.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
And everybody have a wonderful night. Goodbye.
Bye.